Okay, the first question is a mixture problem, and for mixture problems, we're going to draw a table. Now, the table is going to have 3 rows and 3 columns, right? 3 rows and 3 columns. So, for this question, they give us 2 solutions, right? So, we have solution 1 and solution 2. And then we have the mixture, right? Because we're going to add the 2 solutions to get the mixture. And then this is a saline solution. So we have the amount of the saline solution times the percentage of saline, right, equals the amount of saline in that particular solution. So clearly for this one, we have solution 1, solution 2. I don't want to use S and S, right? So let's just use S and T, or we could use X and Y. We could use anything, right? Okay. And now it says a chemist mixes a 10% saline and a 20%. So let's make this one the 10% and this one the 20% saline solution. And we're going to make 500 milliliters, 500 milliliters, I'm going to put units just so I remember, of a 16% saline solution. So they're basically saying how much of each one do we need to make a 16% saline. Now the formula is right across the top. The first column times the second equals the third. So this is 0.1 times 5, right? Or sorry, times S. Couldn't read my writing. So that's 0.1 S. The second one is 0.2, right, times T, which is 0.2 T. And the third one is 500, right, times 0.16. And 500 times 0.16 is 80. Okay, so now we have our 2 formulas. And the way you determine where the 2 formulas are, the first formula comes from this column, right? And the second formula comes from this column. So the first formula is S plus T equals 500. And the second, equation, now formula, is 0.1 S plus 0.2 T equals 80, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides of this bottom equation by 10 so that I can get rid of the decimals. So that becomes, by 10, it becomes S plus 2T equals 800. And now the top equation I'm going to multiply by, the top equation I'm going to multiply by -1 times -1. And I get negative S minus T equals -500. So there's my 2 equations, and I'll use elimination. Negative S and S is 0, negative T and 2T is T, and -500 and 800 is 300. So I solve for T, and now S plus T equals 500 is one of the equations. I'll substitute in 300, right? And I'll subtract 300 from both sides, and we get S equals 200. So now it says how much of each solution do we need? We need 200 milliliters of the 10% solution, and we need 300 milliliters of the 20% solution. And that's our answer.